WJZZ, Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. Tonight, my guest is Detroit sculptor Lisa Rodriguez, who both you and myself will have the great pleasure of getting to know this evening. What I know about her is that she has worked extensively within the context of the Heidelberg Project in Detroit. And I'm going to present to her a series of questions so that we can open up a conversation and be able to converse. Uh, Lisa Rodriguez, good evening. It's an honor to have you here, and thank you so much for being with us.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Let me see. While we are waiting for the technical glitch to be resolved, let me also tell you that Lisa Rodriguez is the first in her family line, from what I understand, to finish high school and university. So I'm very curious to open up a conversation with her about her background and her ancestry and where her family comes from. From what I've seen of her artworks, she seems to work with things that are already found on the spot in the environment that she works with. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to quickly hear her beautiful voice this evening. And Lisa, are you able to speak and hear me? And I want to see if I can hear you now.
Yes,
Cool, we got it. Hi, hi. Um, uh, how do you describe yourself as an artist?
well, my past has come in my and my evening, and so who I am. My family is from the Ottawa and Chippewa Indians. So I bring my history, um, my family, and how I'm responding to the world that we're living in today,
Mhm.
which is in Detroit is industry.
Yes, and how is it to come from this Chippewa and Indian ancestry and be living within this industrial um, situation? How can you transmit to us what you've been like enduring in this life, or what kind of a journey has this been?
It's been a very unique experience walking through worlds, the world that we live in today, and the one that I listen to in my heart and my mind.
The one you were in when?
So I listen to two worlds: the one that I'm in right now, and my history.
Hmm.
So I get cues from directly from the environment that goes to the sun, to the moon, to the winds, and the air that we breathe. And so I'm responding to that directly. And if we were back in time, I would gathering materials that was on my mind. And so today I gather materials um, that's based on industry, construction, um, relics that have been left behind. But I'm also investigating my family history as well. Growing up um, in a family that was haunted by a very unique spirit. And that spirit would be 80 proof. So I am responding to the alcohol level and talking about survival, but also through that aspect, I'm talking about forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much with the members of my family, but within myself, to look at the world
Mm-hmm.
with empathy, forgiveness, and the reminding yourself always that we are all connected.
That we are all.
We are all connected.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that last word.
That we are all connected.
Okay, yes. Oh, yes. Uh-huh. That is one of the highest mountains to climb, I think, what you have said from where you're coming from, and through everything that's happened historically, directly and indirectly to you, and to the others, and and that through this life you have reached this possibility. I think is extremely wise, and I think it's utilizing your faculties and your powers to the best possible of your abilities within the surroundings, time, and situation that you're in. And I think that's really, thinking about it now, that's really what it must mean to also be an Indian. It's really a great honor to be speaking with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And how do you see your work in progress from chaos to form?
The process for me is there's a euphoric moment when I can and use a symbolism to project harmony, something that was there at the beginning, but how and this goes to being at Harvard, where I was under the tutorial of Tyree Guyton, who
Oh, yes.
liberated objects. There are many histories within those blocks. And so I took that tutorial and advanced it with the object I was working with at the time.
Yes, and for those of you listening outside of Detroit, Tyree Guyton is the founder of the Heidelberg Project, and why don't you tell us about him, Lisa, because there are listeners who are not from Detroit as well.
So those who can experience 2 blocks of an out museum that was made in the early 80s from a family effort are really to experience this out museum. And I don't even think museum is big enough for what he created. Normally when we think of a museum, we think of something protected. We think of something elitist. And here we have art that withstands the 4 seasons. Come as you are. Come as a student of art. Come as a curator, artist. You're not going to be the same. So Tyree Guyton has taken objects that have been discarded. He's created large sculptures, murals.
He is responding to sociology,
the
the
feminine,
feminine,
the
the masculine,
the
the
fear,
fears,
the
the
most
most political conversations in the city
that
that
he's
he's in charge of.
and
And they're on
24
24
hours
hours a day,
12
12
months
months
a year,
a year,
that
that
Detroiters
Detroiters
have
have
a
a
museum
museum
that's
that's
ever
ever changing.
so
So
it's a
it's a very unique opportunity to
look
look
at
at objects, find yourself, find your parents, find your grandparents in these relics.
um,
And to know that people that visit the museum, Heidelberg Project, all have
a
a different
favorite
spot,
favorite
piece.
and
And when we visit the Heidelberg Project,
it's
it's bigger than one body.
what
What we're seeing is a
Tyree
Tyree Guyton
critique
on us.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a beautiful, brilliant description. So you were saying also, I love this. You said that your process begins with a feeling of euphoria, that where then you work with symbolism. And what is this euphoria about? And then to create all this, to arrive at creating a sense of harmony, but that was already there from the beginning. So could you elaborate on this and delve more into it and describe it? What is the euphoria, for example, and the symbols, and what is this harmony from the beginning about? It sounds like you're a pipe through which life flows through, that you're not just molding things with your hands or through concepts.
I will always consider
myself
myself
a
a student of life.
Mhm.
And so I like to share with people.
when I
When I
went
went to Maine State,
and
and decided to become an artist,
I
I went there
and
and it was in the studio
and
and the process of creating art
where
where
I
I faith.
and
And my professors challenged me. They
thought
thought I was
safe,
safe,
too
too safe.
Mhm.
And
the
the premise of art school
for
for me
was
was to find my truth and
stop
stop avoiding
what
what was hurting me.
And
And so
the
the challenge was
to
to look at that hurt and to
think
think about it and
study. And
And
once
once
that
that
studying,
studying,
it
it
uncovered.
uncovered.
And
And there was a lot of logic, there was a lot of beauty. And
when
when I began to really see the liquor bottle, not as a vice,
but as
but
an
as an
illumination.
illumination.
And
And that's what fascinated me was not just the sizes,
the
the math,
but
but actually the colors being penetrated by the light.
Mhm.
And
once
once I gave myself, like I'm going to create a sculpture out of this entity, this object. I began to find my family. I began to find myself.
Mhm.
And
And so sadly,
as
as my sibling passed
from
from something that was
already
programmed, right? Very short life with this disease.
Mhm. I'm sorry.
I now have form
the
the sculpture. And
it's
thanks to the Heidelberg Project,
that
that sculpture
lives.
lives.
Mhm.
And
And so
I
I wanted to
I
I wanted to respond to what's happening in my family,
but I
but
wanted
people to
see
see
this
this epiphany that happened too, that
the
the
sculpture
sculpture
at
at
the
the
time
time
of
of
the
the
project,
project,
the
the
Mayans
Mayans
thought really
really
honored
honored
my
my family,
Mm-hmm.
and
and
something that
something
was
that was
hurtful.
hurtful.
So
Is
So
it?
something that was
disengaging,
disengaging,
harmful,
harmful,
um,
um,
is now
is now
telling
telling
time.
time.
But it
But it
can't tell
can't tell
time
time
without
without
you.
you.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
the
the
human
human
body
body
must
must
be in the
be in the
sunblock to
sunblock
tell
to
the
tell the
time.
time.
Mm-hmm. You said to tell the time?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a human
human
sundial.
sundial.
Yes, beautiful.
And
And so
Lisa,
I like
I'm going to have to pause for station ID, and then we will continue this conversation about especially the sundial. You're watching Creative Chronicles live on WJZZ Cool TV, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and other top social media channels. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching WJZZ Cool TV. Tonight, our guest is Lisa Rodriguez, a sculptor with a Chippewa Indian um, ancestry, and who's who's explaining to us a lot of important things. I'm sure you can. I mean, you can imagine if you just joined us. I'll let her continue. So you said that what was the relation with your artwork and time? It was something about the sundial.
yes.
yeah,
So
so
I
I was allowed
to
to
create
create
sculptures
sculptures
at
at
the
the
Heidelberg
Heidelberg
project,
project,
and
and
I
I
showed
showed
Janine
Janine
and
and
Tyree
Tyree
the
the
model,
model,
Mm-hmm.
and I
and I
let
let
them
them
know
know
that
that
part
part
of
of
building
building
the
the
Mayan
Mayan
school
school
clock
clock
would
would
be
be
educating the
educating the
community
community
on
on how to use
a
a
human
human
sundial.
sundial.
A human
And
sundial. What's that?
And
And
so
so
a
a
human
human
sundial
sundial
is
is
where
where
we
we actually go back in time.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Early
early
on,
on,
there was
there was
no
no
there was
there
no
was no
watches.
watches.
Mm-hmm.
People
People
told
told the
the time
time
by
by
markers.
markers.
They
They
faced
faced
north.
north.
They
They
may
may
have
have
had
had
a
a
tree,
tree,
a
a
rock,
rock,
something
something
around
around
them,
them,
and they
and
were
they were
able
able
to
to
tell
tell
time
time
Mm-hmm.
without
without
machine,
machine,
Mm-hmm.
without
without
metal.
metal.
Mm-hmm.
It was
It
the
was the
sun
sun
and their
and their
shadow.
shadow.
And
And so
that's
that's
what we
what we
brought
brought
to
to
the
the
Heidelberg
Heidelberg
Project,
Project,
Mm-hmm.
was
was
that
that people,
their
their shadow was honored.
Their
Their
shadow
shadow
was
was
on their
on their
time.
time.
Yes.
Their
And you
Their
know,
shadow,
do you know the shadow also in ancient Egyptian, um, I hate to say mythology, but in the findings about ancient Egyptian life, the shadow is a part of the human identity. The spirit is called the Ka, and it is the Ka is the image of the person, which is more important than the person themselves. It's the image that goes on to live in the afterlife. And so you have the Ka, and then the shadow is called the Ba. And the other parts of the identity are, there are other ones too. There's the physical body, maybe the mental body, the heart, or something similar. But go on. Yes. So the human sundial, through our shadow, we could tell time.
I enjoy sculptures that invite
you
to
to
participate.
participate.
Um, that they're part of that.
That
And
again,
this is
under
under
the
Guyton
Guyton
tutorial,
tutorial,
where
where
the
the
human
human
person is
person is
vital
vital
to
to the work.
Mm-hmm. 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 In what way is it vital?
well.
Guyton
Guyton
gives
gives
us
sculpture
sculpture
the
conversation
is
that's necessary for the life of the
piece.
piece.
Mm-hmm.
Without
Without that
connection,
connection,
um,
um,
we
we
wouldn't feel
we wouldn't feel all the histories of those objects
when
when
we
we
approach it.
approach it.
And
And
so
so
I
I
felt
felt
in
in
those
those
moments
moments
at
at
Heidelberg
Heidelberg
that
that
not
not
only
only
could
could
I
I
feel
feel
the
the
history
history
of
of
the
the
objects,
objects,
the
the
people that
people
may
that may
manufacture
manufacture
that
that
piece,
piece,
or
or
that may
that
be
may
in
be in
someone's
someone's
home,
home,
but the
but the
actual
actual
patron,
patron,
the
the
participant
participant
viewing the
viewing the
art,
art,
is
is
now in
now
that
in that
object.
object.
And
And
so
so
that
that
object,
object,
the
the
body of
work,
work, the
the
patron
patron
becomes
becomes
one
one
at
at
that
that
moment.
moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. And so, with what you're saying, are you? What can you tell us about um, why you disagree with consumer art?
Oh,
I
I,
I
I
don't
don't
disagree.
disagree.
Okay.
Um,
I
I,
I think
I think
everything
everything
has
has
a
a
place.
place.
Um, art
Art
talks to
talks to
different
different
people at
people at
different
different
times.
times.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
So
not a
I'm not a
critic.
critic.
Um, I
I
feel
feel
that
that
people
people
approach
approach
different
different
types of
types
art
of
in
art
their
in their
life.
life.
I
I
was
was
captured
captured
under the
under the
spell of
spell of
community
community
art.
art.
I
I
enjoy
enjoy
the
the
fusion
fusion
of
of
being
being
vulnerable,
vulnerable,
working with
working with
communities,
communities,
Mm-hmm.
understanding
understanding
their
the
roots,
roots,
Mm-hmm.
and
and
collectively
collectively
creating
creating a piece of
a piece of artwork.
artwork.
And
And
more
more
importantly,
importantly,
is
is
the stewardship of the work as well.
Mm-hmm.
That there's life once the work is created, and that there's opportunities for the community to become curators of public art.
Um, Lisa, I think the public would like to know more about um, the sculptures you have there. So they're on site at the Heidelberg project, right? They're outside somewhere in the vicinity, and
Yeah, they're on the corner of
um,
Mount Elliott, actually Mac and Heidelberg Street. The Mayan sun clock is, and there's also a second clock called Stella's clock.
okay. So I think the audience is able to hear you, but I'm not able to hear you. So until we get that fixed, I would um, I would like to invite everybody to really think about what was being said here today. So many important things. If we could internalize it and really realize the power of art from what this person is telling us, Lisa Rodriguez. Do you see do you see maybe from this experience, from this interview, an example of the great powers that art could have, and why it's so important to strengthen it again within our existence? Because you know, everything she's said, from climbing this high mountain of from her hurt, and from everything she's lived to the point of forgiveness and realizing that we're all connected, that even the artwork itself was like a vehicle that brought her back to um, to face her family and her past in a very spiritual, constructive, and poetic way that brought her great peace and knowledge, and just being a part of the time. She's very synchronized with the time we're living in also, because because by letting this interior life merge with the community situation in this creative process, has put her, in the spirit of the time, and we can understand the significance of art in its relation to time. Sometimes we can talk about it. It doesn't have to be all the time, but sometimes you can. Lisa, can you tell me hello?
Hello again.
Yes, we are still waiting for the sound to come back. So this is the first time that I've heard such a emotional testimony about the Heidelberg project. We have had other interviews here, and I know that they are very highly respected all over the world. And I think even if you drive by, you kind of know that something's going on there, even if you've never been there. But now we're getting a glimpse of the interior process and the great teachings that are happening there, and that it is. We know that it's a community-based project. It's all about the community. So it makes me very curious to see this interiority and inner renovation and catharsis is reaching the community. It would be really interesting to even go knock on doors and ask people, I think. So if anyone out there has any comments about this, please do comment and let us know your experiences with it, and or even call us and talk to us. That would be really great. You are watching Creative Chronicles on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media channels. Comment, like, share, and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. I'm going to give Lisa our telephone number so we can continue this conversation. I think that would be a really smart thing to do. And anyone else who wants to take this number down, please call us and be part of the conversation. We would love to open up a conversation with the public by phone. And the telephone number, everybody, is 313-355-6018. And do keep it with you and call us every Monday or something. So we'll have Lisa calling in, and we can continue our beautiful conversation with Lisa. And so I think her work is very valid under today's circumstances, even though it's not a kind of work that makes a direct statement. And it is, in a way, it is timeless. I mean, this art could live much longer than we will live, but at the same time, it is completely valid under today's circumstances, and is a sign of our times. And we haven't talked about the artistic techniques yet. I'm going to have her talk to us about the everyday process of that. So as soon as I get her on the phone, we will be continuing. Lisa, give me a sign when you're here with us by phone. So ideological intentions are very powerful. I think if you're a very well-read person, you can formulate ideological intentions, and you can really trace the meanings associated with your own work. Um, and this is what these interviews are about. So we're trying to put together shows that provide this meaning for audiences to just get a glimpse of maybe some processes that they weren't aware of when it comes to art and what art is. And Lisa Rodriguez is the perfect example of that. So if you have family members, children, siblings, neighbors, any artists around you, please insulate their art and respect them and empower them, because they have a lot of healing and spiritual power, and you're very lucky to have artists around you, and try to always have them around you. You will be much more blissful and protected. Are you there, Lisa?
Yes.
I thought we were there. Let's see what's going on here. Well, you guys can call in too, so please do.
So are you able to hear me?
Did you ever ask yourselves how you see your own work in progress from chaos to form? If you want to take a moment, your work, think about your work. What is your work? Your real work, not the work that you have to do. You're ready?
Can you hear me?
I need a telephone call. Let me see. So, are you thinking about your work? Your real work, not your fake work that you're obliged to do, but the real work that you do. And think about it. Maybe close your eyes and envision what it would be. Your work, what is it in process from chaos to form? And what are the I'll let you do that for a moment. And what are the meanings associated with your work? Try just to realize it. Don't think it. Just really realize it. And if you don't have any answers today, keep pondering it and write down whatever comes to you. And don't judge what you write. Don't throw it away. Don't rip it up. If you don't like what you're seeing as the results or the process, then just put it in a drawer somewhere and then look at it in 1 year. We have this situation going from chaos to form, and so I think what I'd like to do is maybe how can we play a game? I'm trying to think of a game we could play with Lisa if we have no sound. Does anyone have any ideas what we can do right now? Let me see. Lisa, did you ever work with your hands, or could you? Is there anything you could show us that doesn't take a voice to speak? Well, I have a question for you. You can just say yes or no, okay? Okay. So, like, you know, going to movement schools, mime schools, theater schools, voice schools, we talk a lot with our bodies. So like I'm just having flashes now of like the butterfly I learned to do with my hands, or the bird that I learned how to do, or becoming a tree. Um, it, in your ancestral culture, do they ever symbolize things from nature with their hands, or through any kind of movements other than, or is this considered something that you shouldn't do? Do you yes or no? And if it's a big yes, you can do a big yes. If it's a small yes, you can do a little yes, or you can say no, no, that's a horrible thing to do.
Um,
We're getting a
yes.
yes. Oh, you do? Okay, I'm so glad to hear that. But now this is something I've never thought of, and I'm going to be looking into this actually, because this is a very, 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 this would be very interesting to find out. In some cultures, they think that um, representation of life and life forms should not occur, because then you go into more of a world of representation, and you lose touch with the actual life and life form. So I was curious to know what her ancestors and her people would think about that. Um, Let me see. So on on this coming few weeks, we're having a great series on Creative Chronicles. We will be featuring um, certain people from another city than Detroit, and that city is Akron, Ohio. It is quite a community where artists um, um, and a lot of leagues and associations are trying to really heighten the quality of life through very high quality artistic endeavors. And it's, you know um, Akron kind of has this kind of energy. I had heard from a theater artist who lives there, and they showed me the newspaper article from like the early 1930s, and it was talking about Hollywood, California, and the newspaper article was actually saying that Hollywood would be the new Akron. And so it has this energy there. There is something really light and alive, and the people don't. From what I saw, like compared to a lot that I see here, I was so relieved to not see carpet grass everywhere. I don't know why, but I really feel so relieved when I see like a natural grass, and then you can see a lot of forest also. People have not cut all the trees down, and on their properties, which we all know that we need the trees, that we have a huge problem with CO2 in the atmosphere, and many, many other problems. A lot of it comes because we're cutting down all the trees, so maybe we should stop that. Anyway, I'm going back to Akron, and we'll be speaking with these people who are making the change for a higher quality in the food, in the communities, causing distractions through art in order to bring people together, unite communities, people in the communities through art. And we will be speaking also with some great theater artists who have trained with some of the greatest masters of today, who are very humble people. It's kind of a different scene than you would see, for example, I don't know, on American Idol, or they're not contestants. They never were contestants, even though I love watching those shows, and I really do love, I really do like those shows a lot. I'm just saying it's a totally different atmosphere, a different channel. Um, if anybody um, if anybody has any information they'd like to share, if you have any artwork yourself, if you would like to be featured on Creative Chronicles, please send us your information. To You can start via Facebook, and we'll then take it through email, and that would be a great thing. Lisa, do we have any voice there? We do not, right? Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you a little bit. Can you speak again?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, so we have some voice. We got lucky, and we're going to continue. So let's not let that interlude bother us. I'm very grateful that we can continue speaking. Why don't you tell us now a little bit about the everyday process of your work, a more now practical, quotidian perspective on how you build things. I've seen a photo of you with quite a large sculpture. So why don't you tell us what the process entails, how long it takes you to make a sculpture? You probably don't design it on paper, or you might, I don't know, but do you have to go out, and do you just go out and find things? Do you search for something specific, or how do you decide what you will bring in, and from everything that you could choose from through abandoned objects?
I'm mostly I'm most interested in construction material. Cinder blocks, bricks, going into non-traditional form, with masonry. I like the fact that I'm building up mortar to create. There's something alive with the material that it starts off with simple sand. And then with water, we then build something that's sustaining. So the materials are really a critique of what I've walked across, what's in front of me, and what's discarded. So I like the heaviness of the material. Very physical. Gathering, assembling, and then a lot of people recognize sculpture as playing. You're playing with the material.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a very heavy, it's a very foundation material.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the physicality of working with those objects. They're reminiscent of childhood in Corktown, looking at the streets, the pavement. But it's really looking at the materials that are all around us, if we like it or not. So the process, as far as the liquor bottles, is again started material, and the process of heating them is a feat at its own. They have to be cleansed, washed, labels have to be removed. There's some metal around the caps that could be turned into another piece of work. but there's a lot of material with the bottle itself, and the color, you can't get over how beautiful the color is, how those bottles are printed. And so the process of the liquor bottle being flattened, slumped, it goes through purification. And I think that cleansing process really helped me understand the form and letting that go through its cycle. So it's a way, if we look at the art, this environmental art, we really clean up the environment. These materials will easily go into a landfill and have no history, no conversation. With large scale community work, there's a way to magnify what we're living with, and create some type of tranquility with it. My films always start with a sketch. What I enjoy most is creating a model. That way I figure out engineering, sculptors are known to do their work in the round. And so we're looking at every angle, light, facets, really giving the viewer an opportunity to lost in the body of work. And that's what I enjoy about really good outdoor sculpture.
Okay. Now, I'd like you to talk to us about your relationship with technology. You personally, what is your relation to technology?
I've been pushed against it. Now, this is my relation with technology. I enjoy the connection with people, the direct connection, feeling their ambiance, sensing their history. I think I'm looking at people almost like there's no replacement. I do use technology. We have to live with it. It's changing by the moment. I'm known as a dinosaur with technology, but I do know that its advancements help to generations of people, not just you, not just people that are working remotely from home, but I've seen more of a gravitation for elders using technology. Now, if it's designed for elders, I applaud it more. But I'm seeing and sensing that elders are gravitating to that, and that in itself, elders are very fascinated with. In Southwest Detroit, before COVID, I was teaching seniors how to work themselves out of sculpture. And my students were 60 to 85. This was not a finger paint class. This was not a paint by numbers. I was a very different teacher. I was there to pull out their anger. I was there to push them to stand up. I was there for them to focus on any object that I brought them and them to make a sculpture.
So now I'm going to ask another question. I'm sure the audience received your information, but for me, sometimes the sound was going in and out. So forgive me if I ask a question that you've already talked about. Do you, yes, tell us about you have students, and
I have
if
students.
somebody wants to study with you, what should they do? Should they contact us here at the studio, or is there a place they can contact you? Would you like to tell us how they could? I don't know if you teach, if you have students other than what you've described, because it sounds amazing, and I'm sure after you've described that, there might be some people who could really benefit from what you're doing.
Yes,
Yes,
I'd be happy to
to
relay
leave my
information
information
to
to
students
the
in the studio.
studio.
But
But I'm
very
very
eager
eager
to
to
get
get
back
back
to
to
teaching
teaching
elders.
elders.
And I
And
do
I do
mean
mean
that
that
the
the
demographic.
demographic.
You have to
You
be
have to be
60
60
or
or
over
over
for me to
for me
be
to
your
be your
professor.
professor.
Mhm. Okay. All right. We only have a couple of minutes left, and I was thinking you now have a couple of minutes to talk to the audience about what you would like to talk to them about. Even if you have any, even I was thinking, even if you have any kind of uh, poem or something that you'd like to share with us that we can that we could take with us, then that would be great if you have any ideas. Otherwise, share with us what you think is important to share in the last 2 minutes.
So
So
we
we
just
just
celebrated
celebrated
the
the
equinox.
equinox.
Um,
Um,
and
and
these
these
celestial
celestial
celebrations are
celebrations
very
are very
important in
important
my
in my
heritage.
heritage.
Um,
Um,
and
and
so
so
under
under
this
this
equinox,
equinox,
I
I
wish
wish
that
that
everyone
everyone
feels
feels
that they
that
are
they are
enough.
enough.
What they
What they
have is
have is
enough in
enough
this
in this
world.
world.
All right. Thank you so much for having spoken with us today about your internal process and the community work that you're doing, and all about the process of the sculptures that you make. I think through it we were able to realize really the power of art and what it can be for communities. And I'd like to thank you all for joining us, and please tune in every Monday nights at 10 p.m. And thank you so much for watching WJZZ Cool TV. And remember that you can catch it on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. And please give us any comments that you'd like, and subscribe and share. And thank you so much for watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. Thank you, Lisa, so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.